What makes a train accident the biggest? Is it the body count, the destruction, or the lives changed forever? The uncomfortable truth is that most of the deadliest rail disasters didn't come from shocking, once-in-a-lifetime failures. They came from ordinary systems pushed a little too far. Trains are built to feel certain, steel on steel, fixed tracks, signals, schedules. But history shows the worst crashes aren't single mistakes. They're chain reactions, overcrowding, aging infrastructure, human error, and environments that overwhelm systems never meant to bend. Number 10. Sri Lanka, 2004. On 26 December 2004, a passenger train traveling along Sri Lanka's southern coastal line near Paralaya was struck by massive tsunami waves triggered by the Indian Ocean earthquake. The train was heavily crowded, and when the first waves hit nearby villages, more people reportedly boarded the train believing it would offer protection. Instead, successive waves lifted carriages off the tracks and smashed them into debris. The death toll is uncertain, with estimates ranging from at least 900 to more than 1,700 people. Many victims were swept away, never recovered, or never formally identified. This uncertainty is precisely why the disaster is widely regarded as the deadliest train accident in recorded history. The lesson is stark. Some rail disasters are not failures of rail technology at all, but moments where infrastructure collides with forces far beyond its design limits. In moments of panic, people move toward what appears solid. A train looks immovable until the ocean reminds everyone otherwise. Number 9. Sierra, 1917. In January 1917, during World War I, a passenger train near Sierra station in Romania derailed and collided with another train. The exact sequence of events remains unclear, and the estimated death toll ranges widely, often cited between 800 and 1,000. Wartime conditions severely limited documentation, investigation, and transparency. Transport networks were overloaded, safety standards were compromised, and losses were often underreported or politically softened. This disaster illustrates a recurring pattern in rail history. War doesn't just create battlefield casualties. It overloads civilian systems, erodes maintenance standards, and normalizes dangerous operating conditions. The surprise isn't that accidents happen, it's how long systems survive before they finally fail. Number 8. Ufa, 1989. On 4 June 1989, two passenger trains passed each other near Ufa in the Soviet Union, unaware that a nearby gas pipeline had been leaking for hours. Escaping gas accumulated in the valley, and a spark, likely from braking or mechanical friction, triggered one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in history. The resulting firestorm killed 575 people and injured hundreds more. Many victims suffered severe burns rather than impact injuries, making rescue and survival extremely difficult. This tragedy demonstrated that rail safety extends far beyond tracks and signals. Pipelines, industrial infrastructure, environmental monitoring, and emergency response all form part of the rail safety ecosystem. Ignoring small leaks is often how massive disasters are born. Number 7. Bihar, 1981. On 6 June 1981, a passenger train derailed while crossing a bridge over the Bagmati River in Bihar, India, plunging into the water below. The official death toll listed 235 fatalities, but many estimates place the true number far higher, often exceeding 500. River accidents complicate rescue and recovery. Bodies are swept away, passenger counts are unclear, and many victims are recorded simply as missing. Overcrowding further obscures accurate accounting. This disaster highlights how water transforms derailments into mass fatality events. Safety improvements are not limited to track quality alone, but include bridge design, capacity enforcement, and rapid water rescue capability. Number 6. Balvano, 1944. In March 1944, a freight-heavy passenger train stalled inside a tunnel near Balvano in southern Italy. With poor ventilation and steam locomotives producing carbon monoxide, hundreds of passengers died quietly in their sleep from toxic gas exposure. Estimates commonly cite more than 500 fatalities. Unlike dramatic crashes, this disaster unfolded without explosions or impact, just physics, confined space, and exhaust fumes. The incident underscores that some of the deadliest failures are silent. Ventilation standards, tunnel protocols, and power-to-weight ratios may lack spectacle, but neglecting them turns minor stalls into lethal traps. Number 5. Saint-Michel-de-Maurienne, 1917. In December 1917, a troop train carrying French soldiers returning from the front descended a steep alpine route near Saint-Michel-de-Maurienne. The train was massively overloaded and operated with insufficient braking power for the gradient. As it gained speed downhill, control was lost, and the train derailed catastrophically. Reports cite 435 deaths, with some historical accounts suggesting the true toll may have been higher. Wartime urgency played a critical role. Schedules were compressed, safety margins were ignored, and the pressure to move troops outweighed operational caution. This disaster stands as a brutal example of how rail physics cannot be negotiated with. Gravity does not recognize urgency or patriotism. When braking capacity is inadequate and weight exceeds design limits, disaster is not a possibility, it is an outcome, waiting for distance and speed to finish the calculation. Number 4. Vereshchovka, 1944. The Vereshchovka rail disaster occurred during World War II in the Soviet Union and is believed to have involved a bridge collapse that sent a train into destruction below. Some sources cite more than 600 fatalities, but precise figures remain uncertain due to sparse records, wartime censorship, and the sheer disruption of the period. What matters most is not the exact number, but the pattern the event represents. Temporary or damaged infrastructure, extreme loading, poor visibility, limited inspections, and overwhelming logistical pressure formed a dangerous mix. In wartime environments, redundancy disappears first, and safety becomes conditional. Vereshchovka illustrates how disasters become harder to reconstruct precisely when systems are already collapsing. Lack of data does not imply lack of severity, it often signals the opposite. Number 3. Awash, 1985. In January 1985, a passenger train derailed near Awash, Ethiopia, and plunged into a steep ravine. Reported fatalities range between 392 and 400, placing it among the deadliest rail disasters on the African continent. Survivors described carriages tumbling down slopes, crushing occupants and trapping others in twisted wreckage. Geography played a decisive role. The derailment itself was catastrophic, but the ravine multiplied its lethality by eliminating escape routes and delaying rescue. Recovery efforts were difficult, slow, and dangerous. This accident demonstrates how terrain acts as a force multiplier. A derailment on level ground can be survivable. A derailment into a ravine converts momentum into fatal compression. Curves, speed, elevation, and isolation together determine whether passengers walk away or never leave the site at all. Number 2. Gaisal, 1999. On 2nd August 1999, two passenger trains collided near Gaisal in West Bengal, India, after a series of signaling and communication failures. Official figures list 285 deaths, with unofficial estimates placing the toll higher. Investigations showed that the crash was not caused by a single mistake, but by a breakdown across systems, signaling errors, miscommunication, procedural gaps, and assumptions made under operational pressure. No one error explains the collision. Instead, each layer of defense failed quietly until no barrier remained. The Gaisal disaster is a textbook example of how modern rail systems fail, not through dramatic sabotage or recklessness, but through incremental erosion of safeguards. When systems rely on assumptions instead of confirmations, disaster arrives on schedule. Number 1. Balasore, 2023. On 2nd June 2023, a passenger train struck a stationary freight train, derailed, and collided with another passenger train on a parallel track near Balasore, Odisha. The crash killed 296 people and injured more than 1,200. This disaster showed how complex modern rail systems can amplify failure. Electronic interlocking, signaling logic, human oversight, and real-world operational pressure intersected in a single fatal moment. When complexity grows faster than safety culture, Catastrophe does not require sabotage, only one incorrect state change. These weren't just accidents, they were warnings written in steel and silence. If you want more deep dives that look past headlines and explain why disasters really happen, you're in the right place. Like and subscribe, because understanding history is how we avoid repeating it.